Well, listen, Sarah, thanks so much for all the time you've given me. It's been great. So all that remains is to do my 10 questions on cinematic identity. So don't think too much about this. Just quick answers. That would be great, and we'll round off with this. So question number one: what's your favorite cinema?
Like the place?
The place, yeah, the venue.
There's one cinema in Paris called Le Grand Action, which is like a independent film cinema in the Left Bank. That's really great.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
have to. I haven't been there, so I'll have to write that down for the next time I go to
yeah,
Paris because I
they
go
show
around.
a lot of great things there.
Yeah, because I love the left bank. Okay, watching alone or watching with others?
Alone.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, all of these questions are kind of, they can be caveated. But is there any? I mean, you're allowed to kind of embellish that if you want. Are there any, specific reasons for that, or?
I think it's just when I'm with other people, like I'll just talk during the movie and then that will either annoy them or like, it just becomes, I have a hard time ignoring people when they're next to me, so I just prefer to watch it alone, I think.
Great. Okay. Front row or back row?
Front row always, like second or third.
Right.
What about
Okay.
you?
Well, I would not. I'm writing a piece now on where to sit in the cinema, and it's all dependent on the correlation between the screen and the seats for
Okay,
me. So
yes.
that's a cop out. But basically, where there's enough distance, so your eye line is about in the middle. I don't like
Yes,
looking down, and I don't like looking up. So,
I agree. If I had to choose, I would
but
still go front.
yeah, but in a cultural sense, the back row, for
I
sure.
mean, I do understand the back row. It's just, it makes much more sense. I think for me, I love having this huge screen and
Yeah,
feeling
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
completely in the
Mm.
film.
No, I get it.
But
I get
yes,
it for sure.
it's not the best for the neck.
Okay. A filmmaker whose work you will always make an appointment to see at the theater.
Oh, hmm. Well, I don't know. I think maybe oh gosh. Now like you've really cut because I have like all of them coming into my mind at the same time. Um
It's that opening weekend one. Who would you be like, I've got to see it opening? I can't wait. Here we go.
um I right now I would say Todd Haynes just because I loved May
Okay.
December recently and I
So good, that film.
it's so good. Yeah.
Yeah. And another one that was kind of not really talked about too much.
Yeah, totally. It was completely ignored. I thought it deserved the palm, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well, don't get me into awards because it's all just, yeah, it does my head in anyway.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
so question five, an actor, actress, who you'll watch in anything. So someone you'll just like, yeah, they're on, I'll watch it.
Okay, actor, popular opinion probably Adrian Brody.
Okay.
I love him. And for actress, because I feel like you have to differentiate still.
Okay. Yeah, no, I get
Uh,
you.
and actress, let's see. It's funny because the first person coming into my mind is actually an actress I don't really like that much, Kate Blanchett.
Okay.
But I think I would still, because she makes good choice. Actually, no, and I'm changing my answer. Definitely Jessica Chastain.
All right. Okay. Yeah,
Jessica
yeah. That's a
Chastain
good,
makes
good
great
answer.
choices. I love
Mm,
her. Yeah, she's
yeah,
great.
yeah.
I would choose her.
Okay. An actor and or actress that you don't quite get.
Kate Blanchett. Yeah. And, yeah, and Isabelle Huppert, I can't deal with her.
All
Mm-mm. I
right. Yeah.
can't.
God damn Isabel. Yeah.
She's annoying to me, but I understand why people like her. It's like there's the people who love her and there's the people who hate her. I think she's like, Vegemite. And yeah, for an actor that I won't get, I can't think of an I guess, honestly, Timothée Chalamet. Um,
Everybody says that. That's about
really,
I've done 6 of these videos, and 4 people have said Timothy Chalamet. Like they don't
really.
get it. Yeah.
It's I'll just say one thing about Timothée Chalamet as a New Yorker and as somebody who knows him. He's just such a fucking New Yorker. Like
All
he's
right.
just like
Okay.
he is such a New Yorker. So, you know, but yeah, I still don't really get him though. But anyway,
Okay.
let's move on to the next one.
Yeah, I would say I'm in London, so I don't get the New York thing. I just see him on the
Yeah.
screen. I think he's good in like in all actors, he's good in the right thing. Um, okay, question 7: a film that affected you physically when you were in the cinema. You know, you were like you had some kind of weird, physical reaction of some sort.
Well, I mean, just because we were talking about it recently, but Titan definitely gave me
Right.
physical reactions,
Yeah.
um, which I think makes sense. But also Come and See, which is, I think, one of my
Okay.
favorite films. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a good shout. That's a good shout. Um, okay. Would you walk out or suffer through to the bitter end?
I mean, I usually would say that I'll try to suffer through. Um, but if it's really unbearable, I'll have to walk out.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I,
But I
I
haven't
I walk out a lot more than I used to.
I don't really remember walking out. Actually, last time I walked out was because my mom is like the worst when she goes to the movies. She is so, like, she has no patience. If she doesn't like it, she will
Yeah,
just leave. And we
yeah,
watched Poor Things together.
yeah, yeah.
And she was literally like, after 30 minutes, she was like, I cannot look at this. Like, we are getting out of here. This is the worst film I've ever seen in my life. Like, she went on such a huge rant. And personally, I was not loving the movie either. Like, I was, but I would have definitely stayed till. So I ended up going to the movie a second time on my own to watch it till the end. And whatever. We're not going to get into that film, but I didn't like it either. So I understand my mom's point of view, but she's walk out forever. Yeah.
Okay. Um, so question 9: a film that you'd consider a relationship deal breaker.
Okay. As in, if that person doesn't like this movie,
Either way, so either somebody like if you ask somebody because you're getting to know them and you say, "What's your favorite movie?" and they say like something that you think is ridiculous,
yeah.
or you say to somebody, "You've got to watch this movie because it's my favorite movie and I love it," and they sit there and go, "Yeah, whatever." You know what I
Okay,
mean?
so for option one, if any like person were to tell me that any, no offense, right, but like any Christopher Nolan film,
Okay, wow.
that is a
Dagger to the
definite.
heart, you know?
No, I mean, listen, Interstellar is a good movie. I'm not saying he's like, but I feel like if somebody's favorite film is a Christopher Nolan film,
Red flag.
um, yeah, like it's just, you haven't watched enough films,
Okay,
personally speaking. I think so. That's
right.
my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think if there's a film that I love that another person absolutely hates, for example, I mean, yeah, like I would say like if anybody, okay, yeah. A deal breaker for me is if somebody hates any Stanley Kubrick. Like if
Oh, okay,
somebody hates
right.
Stanley Kubrick with a passion, I that's also a red flag.
Yeah. For me, it would be something like, I mean, these are not my favorite films of all time, but like if I said, let's watch the Before trilogy, and they said
Yes.
this is just philosophical wank, I'm not interested. That would be it, because if you don't like walking and talking in major European cities, then we're not going to get on. So it's kind of, it's on the level of scouting somebody out in that way.
Yeah, I
Um,
see what.
okay, so this is the last question. I always do this that's specific to the person I'm interviewing or speaking to. So question 10 is, which artist would you like to make a film about?
Um, does it need to be an artist, like a visual artist, or can it
Any
be
kind of artist.
because I would love to make a movie about Olivia de Havilland.
Wow. That's a good
Yeah,
choice. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I
No,
think she's
fantastic.
awesome. And there was actually a documentary made about her and the rivalry with her sister, that's like 50 minutes long that I have not seen because I can't see it anywhere, but it was shown at Cannes and I would like to see it somehow. I don't know how. But I would like to make like a feature, like a long feature film
Yeah.
about Olivia de Havilland.
Yeah, she's a proper movie star for sure.
Isn't she?
Yeah, yeah.
And nobody knows her anymore.
Mm, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's funny how certain um icons, especially I think female icons of movies of Hollywood past, some of them kind of, they get ingrained into culture, and then others kind of fall by the wayside. And like, if you're in the know, if you're a cineast, you know who Olivia de Havilland is. But if they're not Marlene Dietrich or Marilyn Monroe, then yeah, it can kind of disappear.
Yeah, and I also think that there's this, I think the only way we perceive them, I mean, not the only way, but the kind of generalized way these great movie stars are perceived are in the Sunset Boulevard
Mm.
lens, and I mean, that's also how you and I started talking was because I commented on your post about Baby Girl and The Last Showgirl, and what was the third one? Those because it was the winter of
Yeah, Maria, and
Maria,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah,
It was the winter of aging actresses, right?
yeah, 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 that's right.
And I was so happy to read that essay that you wrote because, first of all, it was absolutely on point, and I was so happy that finally somebody's talking about it because all of the critics and criticism I've been seeing about these films and stuff is just like praise, praise. They're so strong, they're so wonderful and stuff. And it's like, well, are they because they've they managed to still look good
Mm.
in a way, anyways, you go into much far more depth than just that, but I think when it comes to these old Hollywood actresses, like people don't, Audrey Hepburn, people don't think of Audrey Hepburn because of this, feminine icon of beauty, and Marilyn Monroe and Marlene Dietrich also, it's also always about their looks.
Yeah,
So
without a doubt. Yeah, I mean, with that piece, it was kind of interesting because I was sort of alluding to the idea that these aging actresses now have to start mining their trauma, and it's a bit like that sort of sense of authenticity again, that they're almost being asked to play themselves in these roles that are about aging women's trauma in a way. So, but anyway, thank you so much for all the time. It's been really great. I've really enjoyed the conversation, and yeah, good luck with the exhibition, and good luck with the continuing Substack.
thank you so much. This was so much fun. And yeah, we'll stay in touch in our virtual world.
For sure, yeah, yeah. And you never know, if you might be in London one day, I might be in New York for the first time, and maybe we can grab
Well,
coffee.
I am
But
actually going to be in London in September because my dad is
great.
having a second show. So if you're in London, I'll send you the invitation. You can
Well, yeah,
come.
no, please do. I'd love to come along. But yeah,
It would
thanks
be
for coming on.
wonderful.